shot in 4K ultra high definition. Your number one source for local news. WRAL News. Coverage you can count on.
Our next weather maker is this batch of rain that's back to our west. I'll let you know when it arrived and how much rain we can see.
Mother's Day violence. The man accused of shooting someone at a Durham restaurant will be in court today. What witnesses say happened leading up to that shooting. Plus, hantavirus outbreak, a new positive case from a cruise ship passenger just a day after the ship was evacuated. The latest on the more than 150 people and what local experts say about how the disease spreads. A lot of people following that story. We'll have those headlines and more in just a bit. Let's get right over to meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner on this day after Mother's Day. Elizabeth, what a beautiful weekend, and we have a great day in store.
It really was, and today's not going to be too bad. We do have some rain in the forecast, but it's not very much. You can see this small band of rain back across parts of Tennessee and Kentucky. Definitely a lot more shower and thunderstorm activity way back in Texas, but that's too far away to have any effect here. We just have a small chance for rain, really. Once we get close to lunchtime and then into the afternoon, as that system moves on in, it's going to look like it's going to bring us rain, but the models all just kind of have it fizzling out. So we may see a little bit of rain, but it just doesn't look like it's going to be very much. So we're kind of caught between two systems. One is a coastal system, and the other one is a front that's going to be back to our west. And it just may be that we're in between the two, because once the front gets closer to us, it just fizzled out. So we're not looking at a whole lot of rain today, even though we could definitely use it. A live look at Franklinton this morning. We're looking at partly cloudy skies now. 58 is our temperature, so it's comfortably cool. 55 in Southern Pines, 62 in Goldsboro, and 57 in Roxborough as you're heading out the door. So it will be a comfortable day today. High temperatures will be in the low 70s. We may see temperatures dropping fairly quickly as some rain develops later this afternoon, but we'll walk through that on Futurecast in just a bit. Laura?
Elizabeth, thank you. New this morning, part of Capitol Boulevard in Raleigh is back open after a water main break overnight. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker last night as crews made repairs near the I-440 interchange. Crews finished up around midnight. It's still not clear what caused the break. Today, the man accused of shooting someone at a restaurant in Durham during a Mother's Day brunch will be in court. Police say the victim is in the hospital after he was shot while trying to break up that fight between two employees. The shooting happened yesterday at the Silver Spoon restaurant on North Roxborough Street. Police say the suspect is facing a charge of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill and inflict serious injury. They say he pulled out a gun during that argument. That is when the victim tried to step in and stop it and was shot. The witness we spoke with says the shooting turned a day of celebration into a day of reflection.
It's really terrifying to think that, something could have happened to one of my children and my wife on Mother's Day of all days, where we could have saw something really gruesome happen.
The victim was taken to a hospital in critical condition. We're trying to get an update now on their condition this morning. We've also asked Durham police about what led up to that argument. So this is the second Mother's Day in a row that we've covered a shooting at a Triangle restaurant. This was a scene at Big Ed's restaurant in Raleigh last year. Two groups of people got into a fight, which led to the shots being fired. 3 people were charged. New this morning now, a French passenger who was on the hantavirus-stricken cruise ship was tested positive for the virus. This comes less than a day after all 150 passengers were evacuated off the cruise ship off the Canary Islands. Meanwhile, all 17 U.S. passengers are arriving today at the National Quarantine Unit in Omaha, Nebraska. The Department of Health and Human Services says all of them are asymptomatic. Health officials say the passengers will be assessed by doctors for individual quarantine needs. If anyone starts to show symptoms, they could be moved to an even more secure facility nearby.
Are they developing chills, muscle aches and pains, any GI symptoms, any shortness of breath, any of the symptoms that are associated with an infectious syndrome like hantavirus? They will be looking for those.
The center has a history of housing those expected to highly infectious diseases and exposed to those diseases. In 2014, it hosted 17 Americans infected with Ebola, and in 2020, coronavirus patients were flown out of China and taken there. So hantavirus spreads through contact with infected rodents. The strain linked to the cruise ship is particularly dangerous because it can transmit human to human. Many of us may have seen people online speculating if this outbreak could become the next COVID-19 pandemic. Well, we talked with a local infectious disease specialist who says that is very unlikely.
I don't think most of us expect this to turn into anything big like that. Most of the reported hantavirus clusters to this point have been relatively small. The transmission events really do tend to occur only among people who directly live together, perhaps take care of sick individuals, or are really in these truly close contact situations.
Health experts say the virus typically spreads after symptoms begin. That further separates it from other viruses like COVID and flu, which can spread sooner. You can find all of our coverage on the hantavirus outbreak on the WRAL YouTube page. You can also hear from an American woman who was diagnosed with the virus in 2023, how contagious it is, and more. Just search hantavirus. The man charged in connection with the deadly shooting on a Go Durham bus in 2024 will be in court today. 55-year-old Raymond Dixon was arrested over the weekend and charged with first-degree murder. He's accused of shooting and killing Christopher Hart on the bus. This happened on Holloway Street just after 9 a.m. on November 12, 2024. Search warrants say Dixon shot and killed Hart in retaliation for a shooting that happened hours before. Dixon is being held without bond. President Trump is rejecting Iran's latest response to the U.S.'s peace proposal aimed at ending the war. The president posted about the response last night on social media, saying he had reviewed the response from what he called Iran's so-called representatives. He also called the response, quote, totally unacceptable. The response mainly focused on maritime safety and traffic in the Persian Gulf and the Strait of Hormuz, as well as ending the war. However, it had no mention of nuclear weapons, despite President Trump saying last week the U.S. proposal included Iran no longer having nuclear weapons. Energy Secretary Chris Wright shared his thoughts with Meet the Press' Kristen Welker.
We know where the end point is going to be. The end point is going to be free flow of traffic through the international waters that are the Straits of Hormuz and an end to the Iranian nuclear program. That's where we're going to end. The pathway from here to there, we're going to find out, but that's the end point.
Secretary Wright also weighed in on the price of gas after the national average hit $4.52 yesterday. That's more than a 50% increase since the start of the war. He said the Trump administration is, quote, open to all ideas to lower the cost of gas, including suspending the federal gas tax. So taking a look at gas prices this morning, according to new data from AAA, the national average remains at $4.52. The North Carolina average dropped a cent to $4.16. And looking a little bit more closely here at home, the average price for a gallon of gas in Raleigh is $4.17. That's down 2 cents. Sampson County has the lowest average in the Triangle with $4.08. Halifax has the highest average at $4.28, 20 cents more. So remember, you can always find the lowest gas prices near you with the WRAL Fuel Tracker. Just go to WRAL.com and search the word fuel to find it. The body of a U.S. soldier with North Carolina ties has been found in Morocco. First Lieutenant Kendrick Key Jr. was one of 2 U.S. soldiers who disappeared when they were hiking in Morocco while off duty. He was 27. Key earned a bachelor's degree from Methodist University in Fayetteville. Key and the other soldier were reported missing May 2nd after participating in a yearly multinational military exercise. A Moroccan military search team found Key's body in the water along the shoreline Saturday morning. Officials believe he fell off a cliff. Search efforts will continue for the missing second soldier. President Donald Trump is expected to visit China later this week. China's Foreign Affairs Minister and ministry confirmed that visit yesterday. The state visit will begin in Beijing Wednesday and last through Friday. The president's visit comes amidst the conflict in the Middle East, of course, and continuing economic tensions between China and the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is meeting with Chinese leaders right now and says he'll be in Beijing for that summit, too. This morning, the Raleigh Police Department and Wake County are hosting a law enforcement officer memorial ceremony. It will be at 10:30 a.m. at Hayes Barton Baptist Church. The ceremony is to mark National Police Week, which starts today and runs through Saturday. 23 fallen officers will be honored today, among them Gabriel Torres and Ned Bird. Raleigh Police Officer Torres was shot and killed during the Hedingham mass shooting in 2022. And Wake County Deputy Ned Bird was shot and killed while on duty in 2022. Today, our WRAL tower is lit in blue to honor National Police Week. We have a live look here at that tower this morning. There will also be several events coordinated by the Raleigh Police Department Foundation to honor law enforcement officers, all as a way to say thank you from our community. Your time now, 4:40, honoring America's 250th. Raleigh is getting ready for a big festival on the 4th of July. We'll show you the preparations underway. Plus, production paused. A popular sausage brand made here in North Carolina cannot continue to operate right now. The health concerns investigators are looking into. Elizabeth?
And our next weather maker is well to our west right now, but it could bring us some isolated showers later on today. I'll let you know when to expect the rain. 4:43, our next weather maker is bringing some showers up around parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, well to our north and west right now, but we do have the potential for it to arrive here. It's not going to be a whole lot. We shouldn't see anything until after lunchtime, and it may be closer to the evening before we see much rain. It does look like as this starts to move into our area, a lot of it's going to fall apart. We're going to take a closer look at Futurecast in just a few minutes. Right now, we're taking a look at mainly clear skies heading out the door. This is a live look from the Weld Apartments, looking over toward downtown Raleigh. 60 in Fayetteville, 52 in Roanoke Rapids, 59 in Wilson and in Rocky Mount. So it's cool out there, probably jacket weather for most of us. Temperatures will stay on the cool side this afternoon. Yesterday, it was really warm, but we're back to 73 for the high. And temperatures may drop pretty quickly this afternoon into the mid-60s by 5 o'clock as we see that next system rolling in. Again, we're going to walk through it on Futurecast and show you what you could see coming up. Laura?
Elizabeth, thank you. A developing story now out of Texas this morning. Police are investigating after 6 people were found dead inside a Union Pacific train boxcar. This happened in Laredo, which is along the Mexican border. The ages of the victims and the origin of the train were not immediately released. A Union Pacific spokesperson said in a statement that the company is saddened by this incident and is working closely with law enforcement to investigate. The NTSB says it is gathering information about the evacuation of a Frontier Airlines flight in Denver. This is after the plane hit and killed a person on the runway late Friday night. Right now, officials are looking into the procedure surrounding getting the passengers off the plane. The airport says 12 passengers out of the 224 suffered minor injuries. North Carolina is gearing up for a major 4th of July celebration. The Department of Natural and Cultural Resources has announced the Capital 250 NC Freedom Fest. It will all be an all-day event that is going to be happening at the state capitol in Raleigh, marking America's 250th birthday. Organizers say it's a chance to honor North Carolina's first in freedom legacy while celebrating arts, history, and culture.
It really is going to be all the things. There's going to be historical interpreters doing kind of encampments and military through the ages. So we're going to have both a Revolutionary War area and a military through the ages area. There'll be exhibits inside the Capitol.
The Free Festival will also feature music from Tift Merritt and Reese Palmer. It's one of hundreds of America's 250 NC events happening across the state. A recall alert to tell you about this morning now. Several snack products are being recalled due to salmonella concerns. That includes Good and Gather Mexican street corn sold at Target stores. It also includes various nut mixes at various stores under the brands Southern Style Nuts, Fisher, and Squirrel. The FDA says the seasoning tested negative for salmonella before being used on products. The recall is a precautionary measure taken by the manufacturer. A popular sausage brand made right here in North Carolina has paused production over possible health violations. The U.S. Department of Agriculture says it is investigating Nieces sausage. The brand has already disappeared from stores and restaurants across the state. Documents show the company had shut down part of its production after a notice of suspension was issued in September of 2025. Starting today, it will now be easier to get around Chapel Hill. The transit system will be expanding its service schedule. All routes will run every day of the week. Previously, trips and routes were relined and redlined. A portion of a very busy Durham Street will be closed through the fall. We're talking about Duke Street between West Trinity Avenue and Monmouth Avenue. This is for South Elbury Restoration Project. The closure is expected to start later this month. 808 West Trinity Avenue will be turned into streams and wetland. The goal is to create a natural buffer that will filter polluted stormwater from downtown and nearby neighborhoods. Well, let's get a look at the forecast now with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Elizabeth, a little bit cooler compared to yesterday.
Yeah, temperatures are cool as you're heading out in the 50s. And yesterday it was really warm with well into the 80s, and we're looking at low 70s, so a little bit cooler with this front coming through. You can see some thunderstorms along the front back to our south and west, but what we're looking at is this band of rain that's just over the mountains, and that's what's going to bring us a chance of a shower. We could see a few rumbles of thunder, but most of that is going to be along and east of I-95. This morning we're looking mainly clear, but by the time we get to 9 o'clock, the clouds will start to roll in, and we'll begin to pick up this band of rain moving toward us. Notice we could see an isolated shower right around lunchtime, but notice that's very light and patchy. This looks a lot more impressive at 2 or 3 o'clock back to our west, but watch what happens as it begins to sink southward. It really just fizzles out. So from the triangle area northward, we could see a little bit of light rain with that, but it just looks like it's going to weaken as it moves into our viewing area. So kind of caught between two systems. One is sitting on the coast, the other one is the front back to the west. It just doesn't look like we're going to have much rain around here. Best chance is likely to be right around lunchtime briefly, and then another chance later in the afternoon. It's definitely going to be a dry commute this morning. This is a live look at Franklinton. Temperature 58. We'll climb into the 60s by 7 or 8 o'clock this morning. Right now, 55 in Durham, 59 in Apex. It's 59 in Garner currently. Around town, our temperatures will likely be in the low 70s in the Triangle, but a little bit warmer south and east around Fayetteville. Temperatures could drop pretty quickly once that rain comes through. April was very warm. The average temperature was 66. So far, the average temperature in May is 61, and that's an average of the high and the low together. We stay pretty cool all the way through Friday, but then we do have some warmer temperatures in the forecast for the weekend. We jump back to summer-like conditions at 87 Saturday and 90 on Sunday. We do have another chance for rain on Wednesday. We'll talk about how much we could see total this week in just a bit. Laura?
Elizabeth, thank you. Coming up, sticking together. Stars of Mortal Kombat 2 are still close. Plus, adolescents still winning awards. That and more just ahead in today's Hollywood Minute. The stars of the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 say they have remained close even after filming. And Netflix's Adolescence is still grabbing people's attention. David Daniel has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
Earth belongs to me.
We do not kneel!
Our only chance is to face this together.
The cast of Mortal Kombat 2 says they stayed together even after filming concluded, at least online.
We started this maybe 2 years ago, I think it was. Yeah. And we had a group WhatsApp when we first started the film, and we still have that same WhatsApp.
Super active until
and
now.
Every week there's someone posting something throughout the whole thing. So it's been
sending funny videos.
Yeah.
Look at me now!
People are still looking at Adolescence. The Netflix drama capped a year of accolades by topping the BAFTA TV Awards, winning Best Limited Drama and acting honors for Stephen Graham, Christine Tremarco, and Owen Cooper.
Whoa.
We need some water.
I need a martini.
It's a good time to be Stanley Tucci. He's topping the box office in The Devil Wears Prada 2, and his show Tucci in Italy is back as the actor explores Naples, Sardinia, Sicily, and more. Season 2 of Tucci in Italy just debuted on National Geographic. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
All right, should we eat?
Miley Cyrus will soon be honored in Hollywood. The singer and actress is getting a star on the Walk of Fame later this month. The ceremony will be emceed by LNK actress Anna Taylor-Joy, and designer Dantella Versace will be speaking at that event. Dua Lipa is suing Samsung for $15 million. The pop star claims the electronics company is using her likeness without her permission or payment. The complaint alleges that Samsung used Lipa's image on packaging for certain televisions last year. The complaint also says that she owns the rights to the picture that was used. Samsung has not issued a response. Looking ahead now, tomorrow the town of Carborough is celebrating Bike Month. The town is handing out free breakfast and safety gear for riders at the Libba-Cotton Bikeway on Tuesday. The back alley bikes will be on site for bike maintenance, information on cycling activities, and other resources. The event is free and open to the public. You can stop by from 7 to 10 tomorrow morning. The Carolina Hurricanes are waiting to see who they'll play in the Eastern Conference Final. The Canes finished off a sweep of the Philadelphia Flyers on Saturday. They're the first team in more than 40 years to win their first 8 games of the playoffs. Their next opponent will be either the Buffalo Sabres or Montreal Canadiens. There will still be at least 2 more games in that series. Montreal leads its 2 games to 1 after last night's Game 3. Astronaut Christina Cook was spotted at the Canes game in Philadelphia over the weekend, rooting for the Flyers. Cook is a North Carolina native and NC State grad, but she says that she became a Philadelphia sports fan because of her husband. It was a tough loss for her Flyers, though, but it's great to see Cook there enjoying her time back on Earth after that trip around the moon. A fan around the world countdown to the 2026 World Cup. One man in Mexico is excited to add to his massive souvenir collection. Mexican collector Francisco Javier Lopez has been building his archive for more than half a century. His collection has more than 2,000 pieces. Some of the items include a single sticker album from the 1974 game and official gear worn by sports journalists in Argentina in 1978. This summer, his archive will be put on public display in Mexico City. Next at 5, Mother's Day shooting. The man accused of shooting and injuring someone at a Durham restaurant will be in court today. What witnesses say happened moments before the violence. Plus, the latest on the hantavirus outbreak. More passengers have tested positive just a day after the cruise ship was evacuated. What local experts say about how the infectious disease spreads.